this year. It was one of our biggest years of traveling. And so it's nice to sit back and be in our home comfort zone and to take that time to reflect. So we're going to go through that with you because it's a big part of getting to the next level is knowing where you come from and the stuff that you've achieved throughout the year. And so let's get started.
Absolutely. You know, folks, one of the things that this time of year, this is a great time to start reflecting on what you have done, decision that you have made that maybe have worked for you or maybe did not work so well for you. And one of the greatest aspects of life is every day is a new day. And every day the sun will rise again. So it's an opportunity to every single one of us to start reflecting, okay, did I make the right decision? Do I need to make some changes? But in line of that, what's important is learn and grow to another level. And this is really important that you understand that. Network marketing is not just about selling products and making money. It's part of the process, absolutely. But there's some major personal growth that occurs. You know, there's a saying that your check will match the level of growth that you've achieved, right? It's a compensation plan attached with a self-improvement program. That's what network marketing is. And those of you that evolve, and those of you that recognize what it is that you have accomplished, and where can you reflect on improving or continuing and staying the course on doing this thing so it can take time to grow and evolve, you are the one that's going to succeed in this business. So the first question in the reflection is, what are the 3 things you've improved in your Max business, right? What are the 3 things that you have improved in your Max business that in 2019? And you need to take the time. So some of you are going to listen to this call, and the call is recorded. Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that. A very important topic that we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to listen to, right? But the fact is, you need to recognize what are the 3 things that you've improved in 2019 in your actions, in your skills, right? Or your goals, and reflect. And take 5 minutes to reflect on that. Many of us will spend a year to plan a trip. We won't take 5 minutes to plan our life. Plan your life. 3 things you've improved in your Max business in 2019. If you want to succeed in 2020, you need to reflect on what did you do good and what did you do that was not so good. And start recognizing those patterns so you can focus on the things that are actually have made a difference and focus on the things that you may have to erase or change so you can move forward and not repeat year after year after year the same mistakes.
So take that moment. I hope you took a paper or pen and wrote down 3 things because it is time right now to reflect. And then we want you to circle the one thing that you're most proud of that you have accomplished in 2019. Every single person on this call is at a different level. And some of you are brand new getting started, and maybe you know you were shy to talk to people, and you just got out there and talked to a few people, and that was a step for you. I think what's critical to recognize is the steps that we take, the small steps that we take that turn into big victories. Okay, so write down some of the things. Some of you have really stepped up in 2019 and have accomplished a lot. We get to talk to a lot of people in travels, and a lot of people are growing at a personal rate. It's interesting when we go to different countries, we get to see new presenters, new people that are stepping up that said that they were afraid to go in front of the room that are incredible presenters today. So maybe that's something that you've done that you could be proud of this year. So write down what it is that you'd be most proud of.
You know, again, not to repeat, but it's important sometimes to repeat the important elements, is throughout the holidays, Take the time and reflect on those questions. Very important, because it can make a significant difference on how 2020 will look for you. So the next question that we want to pose for you here is, now that you've circled the one thing that you are most proud of, what do you feel the contributing factor was for you in achieving this? Maybe you went to a seminar. Maybe you went to a convention. Maybe you spent more time talking to your mentor. Maybe you're becoming more active in connecting with people. Maybe you started focusing on the relationship opposed to just focusing on the sale, or wanted to sign them up so you can get the matching check or the matching bonus, or whatever it is that you're looking for in form of the compensation plan that will compensate you, right? Are you focusing on the person, or are you focusing on your needs? What do you feel contributed to that factor, right? What was the contributing factor that you feel has contributed for you to circle that element you feel that you're most proud of in achieving? Again, take the time to reflect on that. Really, really, really important. I hope the question makes sense. And by the way, I do read some comments, and sometimes there's no sounds. Not to worry, the call is recorded, and it will be made available for you. So if it happens, I recommend to log out, log back in, and usually that will resolve the issue. Any other points, Tammy, you want to add on this?
Just take that time and go through those 3 questions. And hey, if it's more than 3, go for it. But really pick the top one that you've really accomplished, and get focused on reflecting around this. I think a lot of the time we set goals throughout the year, and we tend to focus on what we didn't accomplish, and then people get discouraged along the way. We should always celebrate our steps, celebrate our small victories, which turn into huge success over time. So take the time to recognize that in yourself. And now we're going to go to another page, so I hope you have a paper and pen, and if you don't, go listen to the call again and sit down with a piece of paper. This is something that it made a huge difference in Chris and my success over the years in building this business, because then we had more direction. Okay, so now we're going to talk about 2020 in goal setting, your targets, working your plan. This is the big thing. What do you want to accomplish in 2020? We all have different goals. But I think at the end of the day, we all want to achieve. We all want to make more money. We all want to have better health. And it's important to have that balance. So what are 3 things that you desire to achieve in your Max business in 2020? Write that down. What are 3 things? If there's more, fantastic.
Now, folks, you need to reflect on this. Because a lot of time what's happening, and here's what I notice in this business, people are so focused and wanting to increase their income, right? And all they do is they hustle, and they go out there and they find the next person, and they hustle, and they hustle, and there's no specific targets. And this is something that is very important for me. And I would probably believe that Dr. Bright feels the same way, Tammy feels the same way, and many of you here on the call feels the same way. If you have a specific, clear target for you to achieve, the chances are you will achieve it. Why? Because there is clarity. And when there is clarity, a lot of time it will actually give you the sense of direction and motivation to stay the course sometime when things get a little bit difficult. You see, folks, sometimes there's some people that will always look on the downside and the negative aspect of whatever happens, right? There's always 2 sides of everything, and you choose where you want to position yourself, on the negative aspect of whatever it is that's going on, or the positive aspect of what's going on. For example, let's talk about some of our goals. I have some very hefty goals. Remember, folks, I've been in network marketing full-time for over 23 years, right? So my goals 20 years ago are very different from my goal today. Because honestly, folks, 20 years ago, all I wanted is a regular paycheck so I can afford my mortgage, my car payment, and I can actually live my life doing what I love to do, which is network marketing. My goal was to make $3,000 to $4,000 a month. I'm not kidding. That's all I wanted, because for me that shows stability, right? But today, 20 years later, you know, things have evolved a lot. Now we got properties in Florida. We have properties in Toronto. We have a lot of different things. We have, you know, a Tesla that we always wanted to purchase. We're doing some investments, some aggressive, big investments. So my goal now is very different. So I don't want to overwhelm you with my goal, but I can tell you that I have specific goals. I can tell you what my goal is when I'm done working. I want 10 million US dollars in my bank account. And that's not just dollars, but assets, right? This is what I want. This is my goal. Now, will I reach that? Maybe. But I can tell you that it's very clear and that the plan is very specific, and all the things that I'm doing is in line to that. And Max International is in a big part of that, because it is the foundation that has fed everything that is leading up to this big goal. Now, it's not just money goals. There's a lot of other goals, and I don't want to bore you and spend too much time on the details, but you need to specify what are the 3 things that you desire to achieve in your Max business, right? I want to make sure that our family can come to Florida and, you know, come and for the summer. We want, there's so many things that we want to do. You need to be very specific. And I'm telling you, when you are specific on what you want, you will find that the little challenges that you may come across become insignificant. Why? Because you are very clear, and Max will pay you, and they have some of the most products, I agree, some of the most sophisticated nutraceutical products on the planet, and now we're introducing a new line of products that has to do with a cosmetic line, which is a $600 billion industry. Some of us are going to look at that on a really positive aspect, and some of us are going to look at this as, oh, it's a woman product, right? So see, how do you look at things will define your results.
So let's talk about obstacles, because there's always going to be obstacles as we're building our business. And maybe write down some of the obstacles that could be a contributing factor for you in not achieving the goal. Because often, you know, we always have this focus on our goals, and then we hit a pothole, and then we get all down, and then we step back. We need to put those in front of us, clearly in front of us, because we need to break some of these obstacles and help you, you know, with your mindset around these obstacles, because there'll always be obstacles, you guys. You need to understand that. In any business, there will be potholes in the road. We all have potholes in the road when we're driving. We know that. So what do? We try to go around them. You know, sometimes we hit them, and you know, sometimes we create some damage. But put that in front of you. That's critical, because when you know that this could be a stumbling block, then you can do something about it. Okay? So let's say, for example, you know, I often, especially people who are new in the business, fear is such a big obstacle for many people. So what are you going to do to break some of those fears? What skills are you going to develop so that you can break some of those fears that are stopping you from getting incredible results with Max? Other obstacles, maybe some of you work full-time and it's frustrating because you really want to build Max full-time, but you got this job that's in the way. Okay, put that on your paper so that you can find ways to eliminate some of the obstacles along your journey. And of course, if your job's an obstacle, well, what kind of income do you need to make part-time in Max for you to be able to fire your boss, right? So find out what it is. And as a woman, you know, some of my obstacles are all the stuff that needs to be done around the house. So over the years for myself, I increased my income so I can delegate a lot of my obstacles. You know, hiring out to get food, having somebody clean my house. For those of you who have children, what is it going to cost for you to bring somebody in to help you with the kids? You know, find out what it costs and go earn that extra money so you can delegate some of those things so that you can get really, really honed in on working your business and having focus on building that business, your Max business. So you need to determine what those obstacles might be for you and make 2020 your year of really, really stepping up in you know, getting rid of the obstacles that are, you know, right in front of you, that you can get to another level.
Now, when it comes to obstacles, on number 6 that we covered, some of you, the obstacles could be what you call the competitors. Folks, it is not an obstacle if you don't make it an obstacle, right? Competitors, to me, it's an opportunity to evolve, embrace the competition. I assure you, embrace the competition, because the competition is necessary for you to evolve. This is how computer industry has evolved. That's how the car industry has evolved. That's how the franchise industry has evolved. This is how network companies has evolved. Everything evolved because there's competition that comes up with another idea, another angle. Sometimes they're not better ideas. They might be more excited about their idea. Are you excited about your idea? Are you excited about Max International? Think about the moment when you were at your prime with building your Max business. And then someone else comes in and they want what you have. So they're going to be excited about their new idea. And maybe your excitement level went down simply because your mindset has changed a little bit. Maybe that you're the obstacles. Maybe you got too comfortable. Maybe you stopped doing what you did that got you to where you are now. Right? So very, very important is to identify what they are. Once you identify what they are, as Tammy stated, then work around them or work with them. Embrace them. For me, an obstacle, it's an opportunity to evolve. It's an opportunity to get better, to become a better person, to become a better communicator, to become a better presenter, to be more focused on building the relationship and not just treating associates as numbers that are volume for your business. Because often people will smell that, will feel that, and it may not be your fault, right? Some people may just be like that, but your part is to focus on the aspect of who you are as a person to evolve so people can be comfortable around you. Identify those obstacles and work around them, evolve, learn. And this is why you will find that many of the big leaders in Max International, they don't only travel to build their Max business, they also travel to become better people, to evolve, become better leaders, come up with fresh new perspective, fresh new ideas. And if they happen to be training you, show up for class because they're bringing with them what they've spent hours and hundreds of thousands of dollars to acquire, to pass it down and transcend it to the organization. Really, really important in understanding obstacles.
So the next one is accountability partner. We all need to be accountable. None of us are going to wake up in the morning and kick our butts. Obviously, if you have some goals and you're a really high energy, target focused person, you're going to get things done. But most people need to be accountable for the things that they say they're going to do, for the goals that they're setting to accomplish in their qualifying month. So who is your accountability partner? Write it down. If you don't have an accountability partner, you need to get an accountability partner. And how Chris and I, we teach within the organization is the person above you, if they're active building the business, they're your accountability partner, the ones that sponsored you. But if they're not active in building their business, you may want to go up and ask for support. Okay, so make sure that there's somebody there that you know is really going to align you with your goals. Okay, they need to be your cheerleader. These are the people that are going to pick you up when you fall into that hole, okay, because everybody does. And then these are the people that are going to work strategy with you. These are the people that are going to be positive and keep you grounded on what you need to do. So get yourself an accountability partner. You need to know that person before we go into 2020. And you need to ask them if they will support you and be your accountability partner for 2020, because you're really going to step it up a gear, maybe 2 gears, and you really need to have their support.
100%, Tammy. And you know, this is something that Tammy and I have been spending a lot of time on, is mentoring. And this is absolutely critical. And when we talk about accountability partner, it doesn't have to be a crown diamond or a diamond, right? It could be the person that brought you in. It could be someone that maybe is a similar level that you are, but they have a different kind of mindset that you can really leverage from, right? You need someone that something will kick you in the butt and say, wake up. It's time to get out. It's time to get to work. It's time to talk to people, right? Very important. Here's another topic that is very important to talk about in planning for 2020, right? How friendly are you with these tools? Now, I have to admit that when it comes to West Africa, especially Ghana and Nigeria, I mean, you are master of that. I mean, we see your posts every single day, but does everybody does that? Does everybody do it? It's not just for the young anymore, folks. It's like saying, well, you know what, I don't use a cell phone because, you know, it's not my generation. And, well, if you don't have a cell phone, you're not connected, right? Today, I mean, everything runs around. It's in the palm of our hands. We have what used to be 1,000 square feet room computers in the palm of our hands. This is how powerful our tools are today, right? So the fact is, are you utilizing social media? For example, and I noticed that many of you do that, I commend you for that, and congratulations for doing this, is you create these wonderful flyers promoting your Prime 1s, your Prime 2s, your Prime 3, the new ranks, right? This is what you need to do. You need to be more proactive, and don't just rely on your upline. Don't just rely on your upline to do this for you. If you do that, you are becoming dependent. Your downline and your team needs to see you lead. And you don't have to have 1,000 people to lead. You just need a group of 4, 5, 10 people, and you are simply sharing the information that is relevant in promoting someone in your team. That's what a leader does, right? And here's another thing I would like to share with all of you. And I know that many of you will post, let's say, your flyer and promotions on a personal page. Here's often you probably, and I want to do this because I want you guys to understand often when I don't, the reason why I don't accept it, it's not because I don't want to see on my page. I would love, but what's happening is I'm trying to post something in my own personal page and it's overwhelmed with too many posts coming from everywhere, and whatever I post gets buried by the other 20 posts that came in to promote a person 20 times. But here's what I created for that. There is a group I created called Max Global Diamond Group. If you go to Facebook, you find Max Global Diamond Group. If you promote everything that is going on in your business, not only your team will see it, but the entire world will see it. The North Americans, the Filipinos, everybody around the world will see what it is you do. So if you want to promote something, and I really appreciate you tag me, but often because it's overwhelming, there's too many tags, I can't accept them all because, again, I can't promote the things I want to promote within my own page. So use the Max Global Diamond Group. And I'm telling you, and I promise you, that every post, if it's relevant to Max International or something in your team, it will be showing on that page, and that will give you an opportunity. But here's the thing that's really important. When you promote anything like this, if you do too much self-serving details, like having your personal phone number, selling your ID, I can't promote things like that because it puts everybody else in a disadvantage. So keep in mind that there is certain responsibility that I need to have as I'm doing these things.
So I want to talk a little bit about social media very quickly because I'm not the technology type of person. Chris is. I'm the one, anybody who knows me, I'm the one that's socially out there. I love people. I connect with people really well. But you know what? There's times where you're in your house and you need to get better at skills. So these are things that I've been working on all 2019, and I've signed up associates through different platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, different platforms. And I'm even going to step it up another notch in 2020. We're actually hired somebody for our kickoff to do a 3-hour workshop here live in Toronto, Canada, who's a social media expert. And she's going to be teaching us strategy and posting and what to post and all of that stuff. So, you know, sometimes we need to invest a little bit into the things that we want to learn. So don't be afraid to put some of your income aside and invest in yourself in learning skills so you can step up in your growth in your business.
So I just kind of put the lead down. Now, this is a link for North Americans if you happen to be coming our kickoff in Toronto. It's called activeteamevent.com. It will take you to that area for you to register. And again, this is designed for understanding how to have a professional presence on Facebook. And the details are on that particular link that I've shared with you here.
It's a live workshop, yeah.
Exactly. So now what's really important as we move on to the technology aspect, that you utilize this. We live in a world today that is all connected very, very effectively and very quickly. Information that's happening around the world, within fraction of a second, we know what's happening today. It's the world that we live in now. And you can use that in your advantage. Give you an example. We live in Toronto, Canada. There are some heavy winters and moments that we will go through with freezing rain. For those of you that may not know the issue with freezing rain is it rains, but it's warmer than, so it's not snow, it's actual rain. But when it falls on the ground, it becomes instant ice. And then cars are driving, and it is absolute hell to drive in these conditions. So whenever there is freezing rain coming in, which usually happens in mid-January and February, and everybody wants to do their business, there's hotel meetings. Well, if let's say a hotel meeting happens to be canceled, instead of canceling it, when you promote the hotel meeting, if God forbid something happens as to why the meeting is canceled, you default to an online presentation so everybody from the comfort of their home can still come in, join in, and still go ahead with the presentation. It's just an example where today's technology, there's so much that we can utilize. If you happen to be in Ghana and you happen to have someone that lives in Montreal. We're speaking to Steve in Nigeria today. I'm not sure if you're here, Steve, today, this evening. And he was telling me there's someone in Montreal who's very interested in ordering, I think, a Premier Pack. And she wants to bring it with her. And she's living, I think, in Congo. But she also lives in Montreal. Long story short, right? You want to do a presentation. Well, you can use the North American PowerPoint presentation. You download it. You start a Zoom session or Skype session or whatever it is that you're comfortable using, sharing your screen with someone else that lives on the other side of the world. You do not need to be contained within your social environment anymore on your local area, but you can expand around the world, and you need to be aware of that. Okay, so be aware. And folks, here's another thing that I do to educate myself. If I don't know about something, I go to youtube.com and I search about that something I'm looking for, and I look at the 100 million videos that have been created about whatever that something is, and here's what I do. The one that has the most amount of likes, some have millions, some have hundreds of thousands, some have 40,000, and some have 5, right? Well, I'm probably going to pick someone who has 40,000 likes opposed to someone who has 5 likes based on a video of a topic that I'm looking to learn about. Does that make sense, folks? This is how I learn. This is how I discover. Give you an example. I started creating leads within 25 kilometers in using Facebook in my region in Toronto for my local address. Here's what happened. I listened to this young guy who created these leads. It took me about an hour. I did it. And it's been running for 6 months. and I gather an average of anywhere between 5 to 10 leads a week. Now, they're not all good leads, but the point is, these are people I can connect with, right? So these are the things that you can learn utilizing technology. And this is the point that's important, is to be aware of the technology that is around you and utilize it in your advantage. And you don't need to be a professional. There's a lot of people that are professionals, and the information is free online. You just need to learn where to dig in to find it. And YouTube is one of my favorite areas to learn about whatever it is that I'm looking for about a certain topic that I want to evolve to. So in this point, what's going on is Tammy has a program called the 90-Day Program that she does every single year. So I'm going to let her chat a little bit about that before I pass the call over to our host, Dr. Bright Werder.
I'm looking forward to hear what you're going to talk about 90-day plan, Bright, because I know you've accomplished a lot over time. But I did want to put it out for people because many people have taken the program. It's online. We do it through WhatsApp. It's a weekly call, 30 minutes. They're recorded. And I have a 90-day breakthrough program that I do. I've been doing it probably for 10 years now, twice a year, January through March. And then again, I do it from July to September. So anybody is welcome to be on that. Just let your leaders know. Most of the leaders know about the 90-day program that I offer.
So at this point, I would like to turn the call over to my colleague, Dr. Bright Werder. And Dr. Bright, I'm going to give you control of the presentation. So bear with me one moment while I
Hello, Chris.
This. How are you, Dr. Bright?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Just bear with me one moment. I'm going to give
That's
you
fine.
control. Okay,
That's
you
fine.
Can go ahead and introduce yourself and go ahead while I do this.
I think it's okay if you have control. I have about 2 slides. I'm using the same slides you're using, so it's fine. Yes.
Sure.
Perfect.
Yes, and
The call is yours, my friend.
thank you so much. I've learned so much. It's always refreshing to hear from you, being our mentors, and I'm happy with the topics you spoke on, technology, especially in our times. But Tammy, I was hoping that you could elaborate more on the 90-day program, since you have been doing it for quite a while. I actually follow. I receive your emails, so I think that I want to defer that to you. You'll be the best person to talk about 90-day game plan. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
So what we do in the program, it's an action-driven program. We tend to do 2 a day, 2 contacts a day, 10 in play. Some people who are building it full-time are doing up to 10 new contacts a day. And the goal is obviously to put them through the system in prospecting, inviting, following up, third-party validation, get them in the system, and then teach people how to duplicate. We go through the primes. We go through everything in the program itself. I like to work on mindset throughout the program because I find a lot of times when people get started in this business model, within the first 90 days, this is the test of whether they're going to stick or not. And I've learned that over the years, that, you know, when people get started, they're excited. Within the first month, auto ship kicks in. Then they start to get, you know, they may be still excited, but they're start to get a little bit nervous. Second month, auto ship kicks in. So if they're not in a program, growing, learning, doing the steps in building their business, then most likely on the 3rd to the 6th month, they're gone. And that's what we've learned over many, many years of building this business. So the key is to keep people in as long as it takes for them to start earning a check. And the sooner the better. And if you keep them accountable, because that's what this program is really all about, is that accountability. You know, working their game plan, very beginning of the month. And then working their strategy every week, breaking it down to their daily tasks on what they need to do to build their business. And we work the second week, first week we really hone in on the decision, because often people start something and never ever finish They say, you know, especially, you know, beginning of January, New Year's resolution, you know, going to exercise, gonna lose weight, gonna, you know, do this and do that. And then they get in comfort zone within the first week or maybe first month. But most people never follow through. So when they're part of this accountability program, they stick longer. And they have to have an accountability partner. There's documents that they need to fill in to be active every single week, and they need to hand those in to their accountability partner. On our second week, we get really honed in on our goals, our dreams, creating vision boards, and we create the program very, very fun. I like to have a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'd love to have everybody part of it. I guess, Chris, I can send the link so Bright can send that through his platform. And you just have to register. And I'll add you, Dr. Bright, to admin, or any of the leaders who want to be part of admin. Just let me know. I'll add you so you can add other participants. And it's really, really important for the brand new people that are on this program, because I think people who are generally platinum and above, I mean, you got your systems, you know, you're working your strategies with your teams, but the newer levels need to get this content to help them grow and get to their levels.
So before Dr. Bright, we pass it over to you. What's very important here, folks, is this. You need to make a commitment to the commitment you made to yourself when you started this business. Challenges are normal, and embrace it and learn to accept that the challenges are there for you to evolve. This is how you get better. And in business, you will always have challenges. If you just open and start watching the news, you're going to see a lot of situations, companies, governments having an enormous amount of challenges, right? And they have to face these challenges. And once these challenges have been overcome, either they have grown or they walked away. But these are decisions that every single one, and what's important that you need to do here is that if you want to succeed at anything, you've got to stay the course. Folks, Tammy and I are committed to Max International till the end of time. We are never going to stop, ever. We will stay the course, keep moving. Why? Because we are making a difference. This product is making a difference. The income is making a difference. The opportunity is helping people to evolve. It's making a difference. There is nothing else I have done in my life that can measure to what this company and this industry has brought to us and the people that we're surrounded by. It is so important that you understand that competition are here to stay, and it's going to evolve. Why? Because it is a very lucrative way of earning a big income, and it's residual based on the work that you've done years ago. So at this point, Dr. Bright, it's an honor to have you present with you. Dr. Bright, I met him years ago, over almost 6 years ago, and it was through some associates that I brought into the business. And Dr. Bright was this shining, bright young man, and I'm not exaggerating one little bit, and he worked hard, and he listened to everything that I shared. Even though he is more educated, and I believe that he's smarter than I am, he humbled himself and listened and evolved. And he has reached incredible heights. And not only that, but he has been able to duplicate what it is that we have done. Folks, that is the key. Remain humble and don't criticize. Learn and evolve. Dr. Bright, Crown Diamond, it's an honor. So I'm turning the call over to you. You go ahead. Take over.
Thank you, thank you so much. You've made me shy with all the things you say. Thank you so much. I remember when we met in 2014, you told me, Dr. Bright, do this business casually and you become a millionaire in 5 years. That's what you told me, and it happened in less than 5 years. So thank you so much. I wouldn't have made it this far without you. I really appreciate you and Tammy for all that you've done personally for us and for the growth of the business in Africa. So it's really an honor to be able to train with you. I think it's the first time we're doing a joint call together, so I'm really excited about it. And thank you for all the things you covered. So I'll be talking about being consistent. And I realized that a lot of people, when they come into the business, we tend to focus too much on the money, and people are always too hungry to wait for the cooking. What I'm trying to say is that a lot of people are so hungry in the beginning that they focus so much on the money, but they don't focus on the process. The money is a result, okay? And most people want it now. You know, it's something I've been thinking about recently. When we came into the business in 2014, we knew success would come. As to when it will come, I wasn't sure. I imagined that Crown Diamond will happen maybe in 10, 20 years. I didn't know. But what I knew was that if it took me 10 years to become a Crown Diamond with Max International and earn the kind of income that Crown Diamonds earn, it was worth it. It was going to be worth it. So what I sense is that most associates are so eager to make the money today or yesterday that everybody has this "I want to get it now" mentality. People are impatient. This business is about doing things consistently, and I tell people that try and enjoy the business. Don't be like you're hungry, but don't look like you're starving, right? And don't go hunting people. I said, do your life. Go if you are shopping somewhere, if you're in a taxi somewhere, if you are at the bus stop, just meet people, all right, and then take your time to warm them up. Take your time to build trust, and then as time goes on, naturally conversations will flow. You know, people want to know what you do for a living. You have a job, you have this other thing that you do. People will talk about somebody is ill. So always let things flow. Anytime that you pounce on someone and you try to rush them, they sense something is wrong. Okay, that's one of the things. Now to talk about consistency, about what you are doing consistently, right? That will get you the results. So let's do this simple exercise, okay? If you have a pen and a paper, you can do this. So write down the number 1. The number 1, all right? Now let's double 1. If you double 1, that is 1 times 2, you get the number 2, okay? Now you double 2. If you double 2, you get the number 4. Double 4, you get 8. Double 8, 16. 32, 64, 128, 256. Let's say that's 250. You double that, that's 500. Double that, that's 1,000. Double that, that's 2,000. Double that, that's 8,000. What do you notice in this sequence? So that we're doing consistently, we are doubling the numbers before. But in the beginning, you get small numbers. You double 1, it's just a meager 2, right? You double 2, it's 4. Double 4, it's 8. 8 is 16. You get to a point in time that's when you double, you get huge results. All right. Now this is how this business works. In the beginning, your efforts will appear to yield very small results. Okay, it's part of the process because you have to bring in your first 2 people and they have to duplicate. That's how it's always going to be. In the beginning, you would have to do a lot of work to lay down the foundation. But once this duplication kicks in, you start getting huge results for the efforts you apply. Now, I understood this principle, so I knew that it was going to happen as long as I kept doubling the numbers. So you are going to get the results you're looking for as long as you keep doubling. And how do you double? By meeting new people all the time. People always say, I haven't met anyone new this week, but you go to church. You're going to go for events this festive season. You're going to go for some events. You're going to be eating at a restaurant. You can just make eye contact with someone, give a smile, walk up, stretch out your hand and introduce yourself, pick a number or take their card, whatever, and then start chatting them, warm them up. But people are not doing the activities. You have to bring in people. So you must consistently add to your list. And sometimes some of us, we do not have resourceful networks. I understand that. So maybe by virtue of your personality or your associations or your reputation in your past life before Max, you don't have too many friends, or it's okay. But going forward into the future, 2019, we had a whole 12 months to have built new relationships? Did we or we didn't? But 2020, you need to add new people to your list. So these are the things that we must do consistently in order to achieve our success, okay? And then being able to show people the opportunity is also key. You know, how many people are we showing the opportunity consistently, assessing people's needs? These are the things that we must do, okay? And then also, daily advancement in our personal development. At the end of the day, people are going to join us. People may not know what Max International is. The people will buy us before they buy our product or our business. And therefore, we must work hard to, you know, develop ourselves so that we can become more attractive to the kind of people that we seek. You know, we attract our tribe. So sometimes we are struggling because we're not presenting ourselves in the right light, okay? And it's part of we branding ourselves. So we need to work on these things consistently, right? And then get in touch with the business building activities. So that's what I would say here, all right? But trust me, don't let your be led by your dreams. Some of us, two things are going to be working on you, two forces. One is going to be your dreams pulling you, right? Pulling you, your dreams pulling you ahead, and then your challenges pulling you behind. So there's always going to be a tug of war. Now here I know we have issues. Some of us have issues. We have issues with our finances. It's difficult trying to come up with auto-ship money. I know, right? But then again, you're trying to escape from a particular bondage. How do you break free? Is by building this business. So you have the egg and the chicken scenario. Which one comes first? You need to be able to put yourself in that position where you say, I want to break free, because we've all been there before. Chris and Tammy were in debt to their eyeballs, as they say. I was in a difficult situation before. I joined Mark before I got a job, actually, right? So I've been unemployed before. I've been broke before. I know how this feels. But it's where you put your feet down and say, I am going to do this. I want to break free. So one of the things that will work against you being consistent is that your challenges are going to pull you back. You're going to have excuses. You can't come to the Max office because you don't have enough money to pick a Uber. You cannot do your auto ship because you don't have the money. But there are ways around it. There are always ways around these things. So be consistent. Come 2020, all right? And you get there. Next slide, please. The next one is staying focused, right? I think one of the biggest things that will knock you off your business is being focused. And I find that because of the immediate, you know, I want it now, microwave mentality, most people don't stay focused. If you talk to any entrepreneur, people stay in business. They wake up early in the morning, come back late at night, take work home, and they do this for 3 years to break even in business. How long will it take you to break even in Max business? If you sign up today with your $4.99, excuse me for those who are in Ghana who know this, sign up today with your $100 or $20, and then you sold products and got your money back. You've done your business. So at the end of the day, right, we need to stay focused. There are always going to be other deals, and let me say this to my dear associate, right? You know, it's like let me use this example. It's like you have politics, all right? The party in opposition can always promise you. They can always promise you because they are not there yet, all right? And I know that we have competitors around, but you have 5 years proven track record that shows that this company delivers. The other person who hasn't delivered can say this and that, but here we have 5 years in business. I'm talking about being in Ghana. More than 5 years when we talk about North America, we talk about Philippines, right? So at the end of the day, we have something that really works, all right? And the grass is always greener on the other side because somebody's either watering it or it's probably fake, right? So we need to stay focused on our business. And I can guarantee you that, I mean, there aren't a lot of companies like our company. You know, when I started Max International Business, people said it was nearly impossible to achieve the top pinnacle rank if you were not a pioneer from when the company was born in the country of origin, which meant to say that if you're not from North America, you didn't join Max International 10 years ago, you probably wouldn't make it. But this Max International has shown that this system really works. So it's about staying focused. And I'm telling you that I was distracted. I mean, people tried to distract me with so many deals. There were associates who were selling, they opened their car book, their trunks, they had this product, that product, and I found it very very strange. I mean, how can you build to become a top person in 3 different companies? I don't think it's feasible. So I decided I'll stay focused on one thing, channel all my efforts into one thing. If you play with a lens, and you focus the sunlight, you can burn a piece of paper or fry egg with it. If you focus your energy, your resources, you can build one formidable business that will pay you really well. So the message is stay focused. Things will come and go, but we are here. And for those who are in Ghana, you know Max is very committed. We are in 7 regions now. We've laid down all the support structure we need to build a business. And once again, it's not just about a compensation plan that promises you to pay you on paper. It's about the supporting structures you need to build that business. Are the products going to work? Will people reorder the products? Do people need the products? Do you have the supporting structure? Do you have a place to train, place to meet? Do you have mentors? Do you have, intellectual resources, people to stimulate you and support you? All these things are things that we must consider. And when you ask me, I'll tell you the truth is that this company has got everything, and we keep making improvements. So for me, I see 2020 to be a very great year. We've been here for 5 years now. We've passed the tests, and the 5 mortality rate among companies is very high. Max has shown incredible commitment and dedication. And I know that next year is going to be a beautiful year. We're going to have a jump in business with new exciting things coming up. So I really look forward to it. And I know that we're going to touch many more lives. Now, my final message is, see yourself as holding a gift that can empower somebody who is perhaps not too well health-wise, or a gift that can liberate someone. Families are going through difficulties tied to either health issues or financial issues, and you have a gift. When you see yourself as being a gift bearer, you're not afraid to talk to somebody who you meet, at an event or on the bus, at the airport. You know what you carry. But if you see yourself as a hungry person trying to make an extra dollar off somebody, you are hesitant, you are scared, you doubt yourself, you doubt your own motives. I have never been afraid to open my mouth and share the opportunity with people because of my mindset. I know that I can bless somebody by telling them about the business and the product. When you think that way, you become fearless in your approach to people. You're not scared to approach people, all right? And at the end of the day, it's talking and sharing the opportunity with people that helps us grow our business, prospecting, inviting, following up. So you must do these things consistently, all right? So thank you so much. I hand over the call to Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bright. Sorry, I just kind of paused the call here, and I should say muted my line. So what's really important here, and Dr. Bright, I really like some of the things that you've covered, and you were absolutely dead on. There's also a topic that I would love for you to expand, and there's 2 more slides I would love for you to hear from you on, is tracking your progress. Are you open still to cover that?
Yes, I am.
Please go ahead.
Yes. So we need to track our progress. That's the only way we know how well we are doing, okay? So first of all, Chris mentioned the goal. And I am trusting that all of you on this call have set your goals for 2020, right? We've done trainings on this before. So next year, the things that you want to achieve, you should have written them down by now. And it could be, things in life. It could be things specific to your Max business. It could be a rank you want to achieve. You can scale it down to your active leaders or your team size, and then you need to divide it into quarters, so quarterly. So the first 3 months, where do you want to be? So you write down all these things, and then we set our, let's say, key performance indicators. How do you want to achieve silver by March? So exactly how are you going to do this? You need to have a team. So who is your core team of 5 or so people they are working with? Every team member has their own goals, but the goals do unite or lead to the general team goal. And then how are we going to get here? By the first month, January, we should have created this number of prime ones. Okay, then we scale it down to activities that we're going to be doing. Where Tammy mentioned the 90-day game plan, for example. So how many new people are you meeting every day? How many one-on-one presentations have you scheduled every day? When I meet associates, I pick their phone and I go to their calendar, and they have no bookings. It's empty. So there's first to 30, there's nothing there. If you pick my calendar, it's booked with meeting with this, meeting with that, call this, call that. Also, we have reminders. If you have a phone, there's a reminder application on it. You can remind, you can schedule everything on your phone using technology, right? Those of you who like to use the book, that's fine. You can use your prospect book and you can do all those things in there. So it boils down to how many one-on-ones you're doing, how many people you are meeting, and how many people you are engaging, and then converting those people into potential associates. So we can have a call and do this in detail and show you some graphs and all that. But basically, when you're tracking your progress, you know if you're lagging behind or you're not lagging behind. Also, there's that at the back office, you can check the miscellaneous reports. You can check your trend, your volume trend, and you can compare your trend to before. So you know that you are ahead of your trend by 10%, 20%, or behind your trend. That also helps you track your progress. You can also look at the new enrollments in your team. If you are say you are a bronze or a silver or higher, you know the enrollments. You have 3 months data or 2 months data, so you can check the enrollments in your team from the month before. You can check all these things. So your enrollments are down, in week 1 as compared to before. You need to, so you're able to react to little events before they become big monsters. All right, this helps you track your progress. So at the end of the day, and you need to have a partner, accountability partner, as Chris spoke on, and your mentor should be also following you. Right, so you see what's happening in the first month. You realize you're behind on your KPIs, targets you set for the month, to help you when you achieve these targets. You know you are on your way to hitting your overall goal. If you are not hitting these targets, then you need to assess in the situation, take feedback, reevaluate, draw some new plans, and then you try and catch up on this. And if you are still behind, you need to find out why and work on these things. So this is very important. If you go through the year without a plan, I'm afraid that you become like cloth in the wind. It blows you anywhere. Or a sailor without sails, a compass. You need to have a plan so you know exactly where you are going. So for those of you who haven't yet drawn your plans, it's not New Year resolution matter. This is about what you want to achieve next year in your life as well as in your business. Which round do you want to achieve when? Be very specific with your goal, all right? So that's it basically. And also we are going to, Chris, I hope it answers do you have anything you want to add?
No, absolutely. I just kind of posted a link here as an example of tracking your results. And again, I know some of you may have that. You may have your own. It was just an example that Tammy and I are using training a new associate. But you hit it right on, Dr. Bright. It was perfect.
And we use this tracking system in the 90-day program that I do as well. So you'll have an idea. Yeah, there's 2 sheets that are there when you click on the link.
Thank you very much. So also there's good news. Our mentors will be hosting calls for 2020. So we have 3 calls, and these are the dates. Kindly write them down. You can see a picture of this. So all the calls will happen at 8 p.m. GMT, that's Ghana Man time. And we have the date 22nd January, 20th February, and then 24th March. All right. So Chris, would you like to speak on this?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's important that we connect. And I was speaking to Dr. Bright about this and Tammy, and I also was thinking of inviting some other crowns that are also part of Max, and also inviting our CEO, Joe Wojtecki, in some of her calls, and just kind of really bring you closer with these calls and helping you, kind of setting the stage in starting the year. It's kind of a little bit of a project pilot, which I think will be very, very helpful over and above the calls that you are all doing as we speak. And again, this is 8 p.m. Ghana time, and the first one was tonight before we finish the year. And then the second one will be January 22nd. Just make sure that you register those dates. January 22nd, again at 8 p.m. Ghana Mountain Time. And then the 20th of February, and also the 24th of March. So we plan those dates around schedules and traveling. And then after that, in April, Tammy and I plan to visit Ghana for a tour. There's some offices we've never seen, and we'll give you more details as we approach the time of arrival. So on this note, we really want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas if you do celebrate Christmas, and a happy holiday if it's a time for you to spend time with your family and enjoy the time off. I know that there's a lot of different beliefs that I highly respect. And because Tammy and I happen to be celebrating Christmas, we thought it was a nice idea to have an image representing the beautiful snow that we have here in our country. Tammy looks at me because she hates snow, but I do love the way it looks. But Tammy and I don't do snow anymore. In the winter, we go to Florida because Max International has given us the funds to afford to be able to leave the snow and maintain the warm climate. And that's why we love going to Africa during the winter. It's so beautiful and warm and new place. But this is, again, we come to an end of our call. We want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. We love you guys tremendously. And before I pass it to Dr. Bright to maybe finish your last words, Tammy, you want to say something?
Yeah, have an awesome holiday season. Eat lots, connect with your loved ones, because we all know that we all work really hard, and sometimes we just got to put our phones aside and just be in the moment with our families and sharpen the saw, because 2020 is going to be an incredible year. Max has so many incredible incentives for trips. That's got to be on your goal list for sure. I mean,
it's on mine.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. So, you know, let's work hard together in 2020 and support each other throughout the process. So have a phenomenal holiday season. We love you all.
Dr. Bright, I'm going to turn the microphone over to you to finish the call. And again, it was a real honor to share with you this evening. So back to you.
Thank you. So thank you so much for this call, and it's great always to hear from you. And thank you all for being on this call. It's been an honor having you on this call. So the next, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. You know, take care of yourself, have fun, stay healthy, and don't forget to be in business, right? All right. So we see all of you soon. Take care. Bye.
Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.